big females reject short men? Answer in the comments and share.
So I catfished a few chicks before in dating apps and they blocked me. No matter how nice you are, they will still reject you in a heartbeat.
Why do you females always reject the nice guys like me for them dope dealers out there?
Great.
Females will always deserve to be for rejecting nice guys like me. What do you females get from putting nice guys last? That's what I want to know. So not only do females put nice guys last, for some reason they also put light-skinned men like me last, and that just can't happen. Catfishing is not really a big of a deal when you're trying to find a relationship. For the record, if you are expecting an apology for what I said about this, you're not getting one. I said what I said. I am untouchable and I am bulletproof. I went viral 2 times before tonight, and nothing ever happened to me, and nothing will ever happen to me personally. So do with that as you will.
This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm coming at you with another video. And as you saw with the videos that I just played before I started this one, this is going to be a very touchy subject, but it has to be addressed because when it comes to the manosphere space, the so-called red pill or real pill or SYSBM or passport bros, etc., we have to be very careful of images like these and people that have talking points like these because it can saturate into our space and cause us to be looked at as having thoughts and ideas like this. And we know that we aren't on that. We are all are about self-improvement and doing the best that we can to become the best versions of ourselves. But if we don't really put into check people like this and put into check thoughts and ideas like this, it could cause a lot of harm and a lot of damage to us as well as other people. And you saw how I talked about the guy that was stood up for his date and how I stood by everything that I said about him. Like this person right here is even worse, much, much worse than the guy that got stood up for a date because at least the guy just expressed his disappointment in a respectful manner. This guy right here, he just went off the rails with what it is that he was saying and how he disrespected people just because they don't like so-called quote unquote nice guys. And not only was it weak and pathetic what he said, it's concerning and it's scary. And the reason why is because these statements hurt people and it hurt people way more than he knew when he made those statements. And this will cause other men who have a hard time with relationships and women to be accused of having these same thoughts, even though they don't. And we know that it's far from what it is how he described things. And not only is he coming off as a danger to women, but he's coming off as a danger to men. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there are men who are hurt by his words, the men who are falsely accused of doing things to people out of their will. He hurt women that have had to go through those type of experiences. He's hurt men who have went through those type of experiences. Also children who have went through those types of experiences. It was a terrible thing that he said and what he expressed. It was terrible. I can't even stress that enough. I don't want to beat down on the guy too much because it's obvious that he is going through a lot of hurt himself. But I have to be honest about it because not only did he embarrass himself, he embarrassed the men who have a hard time out here, but he also embarrassed his family, especially his mother. And I would ask him if I had the chance to, Rashad, if that was your mother, would you want her to experience what it is you said that most women should experience if they won't give a quote unquote nice guy a chance? You see, you might think that you're a nice guy or a good guy, but when you have these thoughts and these feelings within yourself, you're not really good. you're really becoming what it is that you say that you can't stand and that you despise when you allow negativity to just permeate within yourself and within your soul. And then I had to also think that you saying these statements, it can cause you to become a major target, and not only a target for isolation, but a target for being hurt out here physically, or somebody trying to take away your existence from this side of the plane, if you understand what I'm saying. And I understand why it is you feel the way that you feel or thought the way that you thought. And that's because you've experienced nuclear rejection and you're hurt emotionally from it. And how do I know that? Is because many men, including myself, have experienced nuclear rejection. But I wanted to let you know that you're not alone and not everybody wants to use you. Like, I'm not using you as a punching bag to try to make myself look good. I'm looking at this situation because there's a root cause to it and there's a solution to it, and you have to do it for yourself. But I just want to point it out to you just how dangerous it is to have that type of thought and to express it out in public like that. You see, I'm not going to lie here and say that I wasn't upset with the people that hurt me, the women and the men that hurt me, that gave me this type of nuclear rejection. But at the same time, I wasn't going to take it as far as what Rashad did. Now, I had my father to help me through my situation 3 years ago in 2020, but also had my sister, who was the only woman at the time that I would listen to in order to help me get through it and do it in a way that would be healthy for myself and everybody else. Because I was this close to giving up on everything. But my sister, she, gave me the words of encouragement that I needed to hear, and she said things in a way that I could take it in order for me to be able to move forward. And I thank my sister for that. And one thing that I had to understand was that I cannot fight negativity with negativity. Just like Rashad, you can't fight negativity with negativity, because if you do that, all you're going to do is bring more negativity to you. And if you bring a negative energy towards you, you don't know just how dangerous that can be. And I can tell that you're single mother raised. And this isn't a jab at his mother. And the reason why I know that he's single raised is because I was single mother raised. And this isn't a jab at my mother, because my mother did the best that she could in the situation that she was in, being the person who she was. And that's being honest and sincere. Like, I love my mother. I still help her out. I still go and see about her. But at the same time, I have to be totally honest. And that she told me how if I was just this good person and I did this and I followed this, that things was going to work out a certain way. And it didn't. And I had a conversation with her about that recently, and she told me that she held on to that hope for herself. But then I also know that, you know, when it came to dating and relationships and things like that, like, she was hoping that I would be able to date and be with the type of women that she wanted me to be with. Not necessarily what I liked, uh, but who she thought was best for me. And one thing that she had to understand is that even though she was looking out for my best interests, at the end of the day, I have to make the decision on my own on who's best for me. And if I make a mistake, that's something I have to deal with and I have to move forward. She's had to learn that for herself. But I understand that she was trying to protect me from the type of society and the environment that I live in. Unfortunately, I'm more like my father when it comes to certain things. And I didn't have a chance to really know myself in the way that I needed to know myself to be comfortable with who it is that I am so I could stand my ground. And even if I was rejected in the community that I grew up in, I could build myself up to the point to where I could be able to travel outside of that community and find people that pretty much is on the same wavelength as I am. And me getting my passport, me traveling, and me just focusing on myself more is helping me go into that path. But I had to figure that out for myself. And with that being said, I could tell that he was told to lie that being nice and good will get you love. And one thing that I had to figure out is that life isn't fair like that. As a matter of fact, there's times when you work hard for what it is that you want and you still might not get it. And you're not entitled to anything. And I think about men, and this is just an example, like somebody like Charles Barkley, who's an NBA Hall of Famer. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's made so many accomplishments in the NBA to the point to where he's a respected NBA analysis right now. However, he never won an NBA championship ring. You see, but nobody can say that he wasn't successful in life just because he didn't get this one goal and this one accomplishment in his life. And you see, and that's how life is. Sometimes you achieve a lot of things that you want, then sometimes you just don't get it, and you never will get it. But as a man, you have to learn how to accept certain things. You have to learn how to accept certain failures, but don't dwell in the failure. Just understand that you had a lesson that you had to learn and move forward in life. And that's where I'm at currently. Is where I look failure in the face. I had to accept it. I couldn't keep fighting it. And then I had to figure out what's the best way to overcome this. And the best way to overcome it isn't by having these negative thoughts and these negative expressions towards people that rejected you. And that's just me being honest about it. And you should want to be kind to others because that's who you are, not for good treatment. Because just because you kind to somebody doesn't mean that they supposed to treat you good. Like I said, you're entitled to nothing. As a matter of fact, there's times where you may never be treated good by certain people just because of who you are, just because they just don't like the way you look or the way that you talk or the way that you act, and you have to learn how to accept that. And you have to find value within yourself so it won't affect you. And you cannot focus on fixing yourself for approval. You have to fix yourself for you. And you see, this is where the men need to step up as far as the biological fathers. We need those biological fathers to teach that to the sons. You see what I mean? And it doesn't matter what position in life that man is in. Even if he's going in and out of jail, he can always teach his son something. He could teach him what not to do. But at the end of the day, it's up to that child once he gets of age to make certain decisions on his own. And if he want to take a risk of doing things the way that he's not supposed to, that's going to be on him. But if you have a man that's with him while he's growing up, that man who is his biological father that's with him while he's growing up, he has a better chance at doing the right thing. Not saying that it's always going to work out that way, because sometimes it doesn't. But we need those biological fathers in the household. But one thing that I have to say to Rashad personally is that you really need to seek counsel and get around the correct group of people who will accept you for you, not people who's going to put you down, not people who's going to clown you, and not people that's going to try to force things on you that you do not want. And more importantly than all that, you also need to learn how to enjoy time alone. And you need to use that time alone for self reflection and looking at what it is that you said in those videos. You definitely need a lot of time alone for self reflection, and you need the counseling very bad. And this isn't to throw shade at you, because I go to counseling and it's helped me out tremendously. But you need to do it so you can get over what it is that's caused you to think like this and behave like this. And because, you know, you possibly are becoming not only a danger to yourself, but to others with thoughts and processes like this. So it needs to be, the root cause needs to be found, and it needs to be nipped in the bud so it doesn't spread. And to Rashad, you can always reach out to me. Uh, I go by Just Bob Bowman on Instagram, just like I do on YouTube. So if you need somebody to talk to about this, you can always reach out to me. Hopefully, you get this video just to let you know that you're not the only person that's going through things like that. But hey, you cannot allow this to eat you up. So before even getting a passport, getting yourself together, getting improvement, you need to do those things first. Like get counseling so you can get to the root cause of this issue. Get around people that actually care about you, that it's not trying to mold you into what they think you should do. And learn how to enjoy life. Because that's what the main thing that it's obvious that you're lacking. You're not enjoying your life right now. Hit the gym. I'm hit the gym. Not to say that's going to help anything, like as far as physical appearance or how people treat you, but hitting the gym will help you with feeling better about yourself. You know, I mean, those are just little suggestions that I have. But it's up to you on whether or not it is you want to listen to that or not. But with that being said, this is Just Bob Bowman. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out.